payroll. The name for me is there.
What's her name? It's not at her station. What's her name? Amanda?
Huh? I don't know. I think that sounds right. This payroll contest is going to be the end of me.
What do you mean?
Well, talking about it 3 times an hour. Talking about it at top of the hour. Then sometime later in the hour, say whether the person called back or not. And then remind people at 10 till, hey, in a few minutes we're going to do that again. Spending so much time talking about that, I don't have time to talk about anything else. College dropout turned self-made real estate investor millionaire. All right. So you have headphones in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's underneath in front of you, there's a little controller where it's plugged in for the volume,
okay,
so you can get it comfortable for you.
$2 billion in other people's real estate deals. Now I'd like to show you how to use my quick
do
flip
that
system
microphone.
to fund all of your real estate deals in as little as 72 hours.
Yeah, perfect.
For a limited
Yeah,
time, anyone that calls,
just make sure
will give
you.
a free copy of my
It says Sure upside down on
There's no
there.
catch. It's
All I hear is
free.
commercial.
In my kit,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
walk
all
you
you
through
hear.
the
2 more minutes.
five-step
Okay.
process
Or 1 more
of getting
minute.
deals funded immediately and tapping into my funding sources to flip houses with no credit or cash.
When you speak, just make sure you're like there on that guy.
Like on it, on it.
You want to be like a safe distance off like that. That's gonna be fun.
Funding workshop coming soon to the Southern California area, which includes a free meal and a smartwatch. Call 800-573-1586. That's 800-573-1586. At Stater Brothers Supermarkets, they know you're looking for great quality.
Do we say last name?
So stop by their produce
If you want to.
for cuties
Yeah.
mandarins.
You don't have to. If you don't want me to, I don't have to.
Love 'em. Just
Oh, no, it's okay.
$2.99 for the 3-pound bag. Stater Brothers, where you always get more for less.
Viva name names.
On right now at Tim and Subaru.
I'm sorry?
I said Viva name names.
Beautiful name.
Viva name some names.
Check out all the True Love deals.
He would be so fun.
Oh,
Triple
Alright.
Thursday is supported by HBO's Vinyl, a new original series from executive producers Martin Scorsese and Mick Jagger. Don't miss all new episodes Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO.
Did you notice? Yep, we're playing 3 song sets from classic rock's greatest artists all day.
KSWDFM and HD1, Los Angeles, Orange County.
No idea what I'm going to
Free the
say.
sound. Triple Play Thursday.
Wow.
heavens.
Good Lord. Well, Bill's been busy back there.
Somebody earned their money, didn't
All
they?
right, well done.
The name is Socorro Saldivar of Los Angeles. Socorro Saldivar. Really, just a little bit of phonetics on here would be fantastic. Socorro Saldivar of Los Angeles. You are the next name on the Sounds payroll. I'm starting the clock. You got 10 minutes to call me at 888-696-1003.
Socorro Saldivar, you say?
That's right. Again, Socorro Saldivar of Los Angeles, 888-696-1003. Good luck. Otherwise, I'll give another $100 to Abner Carrera of Downey, who's already got 400 bones. So good for Abner. Now, it's Triple Play Thursday here on The Sound, but we've done this once before. We had the lovely Nora and Doreen come in.
Awesome.
And we believe that by simply not being alive anymore shouldn't exclude you from being a sound DJ.
Nope.
We've got Frances Salcido Burt here, along with the remains of her husband, Randy, and his son, Casey, as well. And we've got headphones on the air. Have you started that yet?
I have. It's streaming.
Okay, so you can look
see,
at it Facebook Live right now. You can follow along. Just go to 100.3 of the Sound on Facebook. Now, Frances heard about the segment we do. It's called Dead Air, in which we invite someone to bring in the ashes of a loved one who was a huge music fan, so we can celebrate their life and make them a posthumous sound disc jockey. And we'll do that here in just a few minutes. But she's also here because Randy had a wicked sense of humor.
Yep.
And I believe that doesn't go away simply because we shuffle to another dimension. So we're going to have some fun. But Frances, before we play some Rolling Stones, his most beloved band, is that right?
Right.
Before we do that, can you tell me 3 words to describe Randy?
3 words. Let's see. He was fun-loving. He was energetic, and he was always positive.
Awesome. And I read the write-up over there, and I know he was a great father, and that means a lot to me as well. So let's start off playing 3 songs from Randy and his playlist, and we'll talk about him just a little more. This is Dead Air. that's 100.3 The Sound. Andy in the afternoon. Thanks, Francis. Casey. Awesome. So let's play a couple of songs here, and then we'll pop in between a couple of the songs. And do you have a particular, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but a particular Rolling Stones memory or a story of anything that would set him apart as a Rolling Stones fan, or just any story you want to tell about something funny he did, or show a side of him to people, because this is a chance to use a 8,000 watt broadcast stick to tell people about what a cool dude he was.
The one story that I can think of is he had always talked about to the boys as the boys were growing up, about the Stones, and growing up in Washington, D.C. and living there and being military raised. It was like the heart of, in the 60s, the heart of all the rebellion and, fighting against the political system and all that. And then his father being in the military, he was just kind of a rebel. So being an old hippie, it was kind of the place for his rebellion too.
Right. So he was going down to the Washington Memorial.
He was doing all of that.
All that stuff, and his dad's like...
Yeah, exactly. And, but trying to keep, because they had a role they had to play as their family, with the father being, who he was, he had to kind of walk a fine line. And so when Dad kind of thought he was going off the edge, then, he'd have to kind of scoot himself back. But he always had a rebellious side to him, which is one of the things that we love. And just kind of a free-spirited person. So as the boys came along, we have 3 adults now. He began to teach them about that time, the 60s, and the time growing up, and just was so full of that spirit of that time.
Mm-hmm.
And teaching them as music came into their lives. The first thing was the Rolling Stones. And as the boys grew older, Casey got into music, and I can remember Casey being in the family room, and he would play songs to Randy to, it was kind of a father-son bonding. And I remember Casey playing Angie. Angie was the big song, and Randy loved that song. And Casey would stay in the back and Dad, listen to this, and play it on the guitar. It was really, just a good moment.
That's
a good
awesome.
memory. Yeah.
That's awesome. I always loved that song, too. It just sounded so desolate, so hopeless. I mean, you could feel the pang of, the existential angst of walking around, not having any money, and live Stones in here. I like that. We'll do probably a song that captures a lot of that anti-establishment stuff next. We'll do Give Me Shelter.
Oh, cool.
And so I might start playing it up underneath you, but there's like almost a minute of it, so don't sweat that.
Okay.
Don't feel like you have to hurry.
Okay.
So he ran a marathon?
He did. Yeah.
Just one?
Long Beach Marathon, yes. And then he ran it, one of his buddies ran it, and although he didn't register, he snuck in to help him finish.
If I may, just brief, if we're going to do the conceit of dead air, it's not going to work if we're talking over the ramp.
Oh, no, he's going to do the next.
Oh, we're doing one after Give Me Shelter?
Yeah, we're going to talk here between these 2 songs, and then after we're done with the Stones, we'll let him...
he's going to front announce Little Benny and the
yeah,
Jets, perhaps? Yeah. Nice. Sorry, go back to your thing. I have to keep them on the track, or else it'll...
I need someone to remind me constantly. I'm sorry, you were saying? So he ran the
Yes.
Long Beach?
Then jumped in with a friend to help him finish.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the second year around. Yeah, the year after that one. Yeah. So now my youngest is a marathoner, and he's run 3 or 4 marathons. Tyler. Yeah.
I did one.
And he did one, it almost killed him.
It almost killed him.
Oh.
It was so...
Was it Hawaii?
Well, it was in Honolulu,
Yeah.
so that was pretty good.
Oh,
That's
wow.
a pretty good venue to do one.
Yeah.
But I did it for my brother-in-law, Mike, who was diagnosed with leukemia. And so I wanted to do something, anything. I was felt helpless, so far away. And so I ran it for the Leukemia Society. And it was such a difficult thing and hard on my body. But it was so moving at the time too, because I ran and I had his picture on my jersey and stuff, and as I was running it, I got to the point where I just couldn't run anymore. I got injured, so I couldn't do a lot of the training at the end, and everything just started cramping up. And somebody ran by me and jogged by and said, "I'm going to pray for Mike." I'm like, oh, I started crying. I had to start running again.
Right.
What are you going to do? You've
Right.
got instant motivation. So
Right.
was his dad a Marine?
Marine.
And he was.
He was a Marine. No, his father, my father-in-law, was Air Force,
Oh, okay.
and killed him when Randy decided to join the Marines.
All right, so go here in a few seconds. Live Stones, Triple Play Thursday. We got one more to go in this set. This is Dead Air. We're talking to Frances Salcido Burt about her husband Randy, who is no longer with us. He passed away, 11 years ago, 10 and a half years ago?
11 years ago.
He was a Marine.
Correct.
But before that, you tell me he was a bit of an anti-establishment figure.
He was a rebel. Yeah.
So he was in Washington, D.C. He was the one going to all these protests.
These rallies but sneaking away to go to rock festivals, when those were the big things, and just was an undercover rebel. I don't know how else to describe it. Having to, being raised military and with such a strict father, he had to really do a lot of covering up of the things that he did.
Yeah, I can't tell the kids about some of the things that went down.
No.
As I won't tell my son.
I will.
Thanks
Like,
a lot,
hey,
Christian.
you know what your dad did?
This isn't about me.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
It's about Randy.
Yeah, my bad.
And I figured this is a pretty good song to talk about when we're talking about anti-establishment.
Yeah.
This is the Stones, "Gimme Shelter." This is Randy's set today on Triple Play Thursday. It's Dead Air. We're going to give him a chance to front announce a song here in just a
See how he
minute.
does.
And you can watch this on Facebook Live, by
Yep.
the way, all around the world. It's Andy in the afternoon. Christian's here, Francis, and Casey. This is cool. Thanks for coming in today. This is
Hey,
fun.
thanks. It's really funny. After he passed away, I was going through his things. It actually took me a few years to clean out the closet. But his dress blues were there. I still have them. They're hanging in my closet. And so I took them out, and I was going through the pockets, see if there was anything, because I was going to send it to the cleaners and then have it nicely preserved. And I went in and I pulled out something that wasn't a cigarette. And I thought, oh my God, it had been there. It was from graduation night. And I remember talking to, I think it was his brother or somebody, and they said that he had gone out to dinner with his parents. I could just imagine that, he's got that in his pocket. And
That's awesome. So was he a prankster at all, or was he a fairly serious person?
he was very serious. He had a fabulous sense of humor. I think he was very East Coast, very kind of reserved. I was the one who kind of pushed him over the edge a little bit to do things to be a little bit more risky. But he followed the law. He was a law-abiding citizen, never, so to speak, as he grew older. And he really tried to set a good example for the kids, growing up. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Always was a good provider. And then even in him passing, he provided very well for the kids. Yeah. So.
Yeah, those are things that are on my mind.
Yeah, really. The biggest thing about him, I think, was, and I know Casey will agree too, is that he taught us love. He taught us every day. You love each other. Every day you hug each other, and we do that still to this day. And so many people, when somebody dies suddenly and tragically, it's really hard for people to, there are a lot of unanswered questions, and I didn't get to say goodbye. We got to say goodbye. And even though we didn't expect what was happening, the night before he passed early in the morning on a Friday morning, that night we all said, as we usually do, I love you to each other. And it's such an important thing. And that's why I think of the stories at 6:45. My alarm is set for 6:45 because I think of this is something that maybe Silas isn't going to remember the stories that you read, which, by the way, are many of the stories that I have read to this kid here, you know?
Yeah.
But he's going to know later on, and he's going to tell Vivian, guess what Dad did for us? You know, on $100 million radio station. You know, yeah.
How did he pass?
Massive heart attack. Massive, 53.
That's
Wow.
so young.
So young. I know. And so my focus is just raising the kid. You know, even you know they still need raising.
Well, you've done a terrible job. This one's a fucking tearaway, clearly. I don't know who you think you are right now.
There we go. It's 100.3 The Sound, Andy in the afternoon. We've got Kristen here with me, and
Hello.
I've got Francis and Casey Burt with me. We're talking, well, Randy is with us too. He's no longer with us in person, but he's here in spirit, and I really appreciate you coming by and sharing these memories. And if you missed, we shared much more on Facebook Live, and you can go and visit that afterwards. But looking at the write-up, the obituary there of him, the remembrance, he was he was a big family man. Loved his kids a lot, and that means a lot to me. And Casey, that's a tremendous gift that was left for you, and I'm sure you know it. So I hope that I can make sure my kids know that too. It's a great example. All right, Randy, it's your chance to be a sound DJ. Talk this ramp up. You got 17 seconds.
Give it your all, buddy.
Like a pro, ladies and gentlemen.
Nailed it. Well done. And topical, I might add, Andy.
Thank you, Bert.
Got a Trump reference in there.
You guys are awesome. All right. Sorry about that.
Thanks.
So,
Do you want to show this on Facebook?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we didn't even mention that.
We should take a picture of that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's.
Take a picture of
Can
it,
you do
and
this, please?
let me bring this thing over here. Wanna find me?
159.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah.
Responses here. Cool. Randy sounded like a great guy. All right, we're going to finish up here, but we want you to see something. Explain what this is.
Do I have it facing right?
Yeah.
Yes. This is the two blue diamonds in the center. These were memorialized for Randy. They are actual blue diamonds, about half a carat each, and they are made from his ashes. So he only comes out when we take him out of the safe when he should be at an event, graduations, birthdays, on the radio, and so on.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
You guys are awesome.
Thanks for
Let's get a
having us.
photo.
Oh, yeah, we have to take a picture here. And we're going to get back to rocking on the set.